Greetings, truth seekers, and welcome to another haunting chapter in our exploration of true crime's darkest corners. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and join our community. Your likes, comments, and shares are the lifeblood of this channel, and I'm endlessly grateful for your support. Today, we're unraveling the chilling mystery of Jasmine Nicole Pace, a young woman whose radiant spirit was extinguished in a web of secrecy, deception, and unimaginable violence. This is a story of love betrayed, a family's desperate search, and the relentless pursuit of justice that uncovered a truth too horrific to fathom. Settle in, because this case will grip your heart and refuse to let go. On May 29, 2000, in the heart of Chattanooga, Tennessee, Jasmine Nicole Pace entered the world, a bundle of joy wrapped in the love of her parents, Katerina and Travis Pace. The rolling hills and vibrant community of Chattanooga shaped her early years, a canvas of sunny days and close-knit family moments. Katerina, a woman of unwavering strength, and Travis, a devoted father, poured their hearts into raising Jasmine and her siblings, creating a home filled with laughter, music, and the scent of home-cooked meals. Though their marriage eventually parted ways, their commitment to their children remained a constant, a thread that held the family together through life's changes. Katerina found a new chapter with Scott Bean, a man whose quiet steadiness became a pillar for the family. Scott embraced Jasmine and her siblings as his own, forging a bond that grew stronger with time. Jasmine's half-brother, Eden Bean, was her shadow and confidant, their connection woven through shared secrets and late-night talks under the glow of fireflies. The Pace household was a sanctuary, where family dinners stretched into hours of storytelling, and Jasmine's infectious laugh could light up even the gloomiest days. Jasmine was a dreamer with a heart as big as the Tennessee sky. At the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, she pursued her studies with a passion that went beyond textbooks. Her major wasn't just a path to a degree, it was a stepping stone to a future where her childhood ambitions could take flight. She spoke often of becoming a mother, her eyes sparkling as she imagined cradling a child, passing down the love she'd known. Her social media was a vibrant tapestry of her life. Selfies at local coffee shops, candid shots with friends, and posts showcasing her new tattoos, each one a bold declaration of her evolving self. To her friends, she was the glue that held their circle together, always ready with a kind word or a spontaneous adventure. But in the summer of 2022, a subtle shift began to ripple through Jasmine's world. Her usual openness gave way to moments of quiet introspection. Her family noticed a faint distance in her demeanor, a hesitation that was unlike her. Unbeknownst to them, Jasmine had stepped into a new chapter, one she kept hidden even from those who knew her best. Jasmine's connection with Jason Chen began in the digital glow of a dating app, a modern spark that flickered into something deeper. Jason, a fellow student at UTC immersed in the world of computer technology, was an enigma. Where Jasmine was a burst of light, Jason was a shadow, reserved, elusive, and deliberately distant. His quiet demeanor masked a deeper detachment, a reluctance to engage with the world around him. Their relationship unfolded in secret, a private dance Jasmine chose not to share with her family or friends. Perhaps it was the thrill of a new romance, or perhaps she sensed something that made her cautious. Whatever the reason, her silence about Jason would later become a haunting piece of the puzzle. Jason was a mystery even to those who crossed his path. He avoided Jasmine's social circle, showing no interest in the people who filled her life with joy. His world seemed to exist in isolation. Few friends, no close connections, just a quiet intensity that left others uneasy. To Jasmine, he was a puzzle she wanted to solve, a chance to explore the uncharted waters of love. But to those who would later reflect on their relationship, he was a shadow that grew darker with each passing day. Their romance was a quiet one, marked by late-night texts and stolen moments away from prying eyes. Jasmine, usually an open book, guarded this chapter closely, sharing little with her loved ones. Her family didn't even know Jason's name, let alone his significance in her life. It was a secret she held close, Perhaps because she was still, deciphering what it meant to her, or perhaps because she sensed something unsettling beneath his calm exterior. On November 22, 2022, the Pace household buzzed with the warmth of pre-Thanksgiving preparations. The kitchen was alive with the clatter of pots, the aroma of roasting turkey, and the hum of family chatter. Jasmine was there, her laughter mingling with the sounds of home. But there was a quietness to her that evening, a subtle distance that tugged at Katerina's heart. She sat on the couch, her phone in hand, her eyes occasionally drifting to the screen. Around 11:30 p.m. she stood, her keys jangling as she grabbed her jacket. "I'll be back," she said softly, her voice carrying a weight her family couldn't yet understand. Her white Chevrolet Equinox gleamed under the streetlights as she drove into the Chattanooga night, the city's lights fading behind her. No one thought to ask where she was going. Jasmine was always on the move, running errands, meeting friends, living her vibrant life. But as the hours ticked by, her absence grew louder than any words she might have spoken. By dawn on November 23rd, the warmth of the previous evening had given way to a chilling unease. Jasmine's phone, usually a lifeline to her family, was silent. Calls went to voicemail. Texts met with nothing but the cold glow of a screen. Katerina's fingers trembled as she dialed her daughter's number again and again, each unanswered ring tightening the knot in her chest. Jasmine's social media, however, told a different story. Posts began to appear, smiling photos, captions, about enjoying Thanksgiving with my baby. But to those who knew her, these posts were a red flag. The images were old, missing the fresh ink of her recent tattoos. The captions were stilted, devoid of her warmth and wit. "This isn't Jasmine," Katerina whispered, her voice trembling as she scrolled through the posts. The family sprang into action, contacting friends, visiting her favorite haunts, the coffee shop where she studied, the park where she jogged, but every lead fizzled into nothing. Desperate for answers, Katerina turned to a vehicle tracking app, praying for a clue. The app pinged Jasmine's Equinox at the Signal View apartment complex, a place foreign to the family. Without hesitation, they piled into a car, the weight of dread pressing down as they drove. In the parking lot, Jasmine's white Equinox sat like a silent sentinel. Katerina's breath caught as she peered inside. The driver's seat was pushed back far beyond what Jasmine's 5'2" frame required. Someone else had driven it. The discovery was a punch to the gut, a confirmation that their worst fears were taking shape. Katerina dug deeper, accessing Jasmine's phone records. A 71-minute call with Jason Chen on the night of her disappearance stood out like a beacon. When she confronted him, his response was chillingly detached. It was just a few minutes, he claimed, his voice flat, unconcerned. His indifference was a stark contrast to the panic consuming Jasmine's loved ones. Driven by fear, Katerina, Travis, and a family friend made a bold decision. They went to Jason's apartment, their hearts pounding with the need for answers. The apartment was a scene of controlled chaos. Items were scattered, but not in the careless way of everyday life. Dark stains marred the hallway and bathroom, their presence screaming of something sinister. Among the clutter, they found Jasmine's driver's license, her bank cards, and her travel bag, proof she had been there, proof that something had gone terribly wrong. Katerina's hands shook as she dialed the police, her voice breaking as she reported their findings. Investigators descended on the apartment with a warrant, their tools revealing traces of blood Jason had tried to scrub away. The floors gleamed with the residue of bleach, furniture shifted to obscure the truth. Neighbors' accounts painted a chilling picture: frantic footsteps, a woman's scream, and a sudden silence in the early hours of November 23rd. One neighbor, stirred from sleep at 2:11 a.m., recalled a voice thick with panic, followed by a text from Jasmine's phone at 2:18 a.m., just coordinates, a desperate plea for help. Surveillance footage wove a damning narrative. Jasmine's Equinox was seen pulling into Jason's apartment complex around midnight on November 22nd. The next morning, Jason was captured driving her car to the Signal View complex, then returning in a rented vehicle. Store cameras caught him, buying bleach, peroxide, and paper towels, items that screamed of a cover-up. The investigation led police to a wooded area near South Chickamauga Creek where, on December 1st, they uncovered a suitcase hidden in the brush. Inside were black garbage bags containing Jasmine's remains, her body bearing the scars of a brutal attack. The forensic examination was heart-wrenching. Jasmine had suffered at least 60 stab wounds, each one a testament to her fight for survival. Chains bound her limbs, a cruel restraint that left her defenseless. A knife taken from Jason's apartment was found embedded in her chest, its blade matching her wounds. The evidence was undeniable. This was no accident, but a calculated act of violence. Jason Chen's arrest on November 29th was met with an eerie calm. He offered no resistance, his demeanor betraying a quiet confidence that crumbled under the weight of the evidence. The trial, beginning in January 2025, was a clash of truth and deception. The prosecution presented a meticulous case. Surveillance, footage, forensic reports, and witness testimonies painted Jason as a calculated killer. His attempts to frame the incident as a spontaneous argument were dismantled by the evidence of Jasmine's restraints and the deliberate nature of her wounds. The jury's verdict was unanimous: life in prison without parole. Jasmine Pace's story is a haunting reminder that even the brightest lights can be dimmed by darkness. Her dreams, her laughter, her love, they live on in the hearts of those who knew her. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Please like, comment, and share to keep her story alive. Your support means everything, and I'll see you in the next one.